What's going on, y'all? 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7 and 9, it says, "But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed." Look at your hands, right? These are the hands of a jar of clay. They are fragile. They get cut, they get tired, they tremble, they age. And yet, within you, within this fragile, temporary, cracked vessel resides an eternal, all-surpassing treasure. The very breath of God, a calling, a purpose. So this morning, I want to speak to the ones who feels the cracks widening, to the ones whose personal struggle, may it be anxiety, grief, financial lack, a chronic illness, a past failure, a present temptation, it may feel like it's about to shatter the jar completely, spilling the treasure onto the ground and rendering it useless. The enemy's greatest lie is not that you have struggles. His greatest lie is that your struggles disqualify you from your purpose. He might whisper in the dark, "How can you lead when you can't even get out of bed?" Or, "How can you preach hope when you're filled with doubt? How can you help others when you're so broken yourself?" Just sit down, be quiet. Wait until you're whole. Wait until you're perfect. If you listen to that lie, the church becomes a museum for shiny, spotless, empty vessels. No treasures inside, just a pleasant facade. All right? But the gospel, the true, powerful, earth-shaking gospel says something radically different. It says your struggle is not in the way of your purpose. Your struggle is the context for your purpose. So look at the great cloud of witnesses, y'all. Look at Moses. Moses argued with God about his stutter. Yet, his struggle with speech became the very platform from which God's law was proclaimed. Look at Gideon. He was threshing wheat in a winepress, hiding in fear from the Mennonites. He was the least in his family from the weakest clan, and God called him a mighty warrior. And of course, look at the Apostle Paul. He pleaded with God to remove a thorn in his flesh. Now, we don't even know what it was. We don't know if it was a physical ailment, a temptation, a persecutor. We don't know. But, and God, and the crazy part, God didn't remove it. Instead, he said, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." So, God's power is not made perfect in your strength. It is made perfect. It is completed. It is put on full display. It finds its ultimate purpose in your weakness. Your anxiety, that's the crack where the light of a peace that passes all understanding can shine through. Your grief, that's the crack where the comfort of the God of all comfort can pour out onto others. Your past failure, that's the crack where the message of radical redemption and second chances can flow. What I'm saying is, the world shows off power in polished marble and stainless steel, but God shows off his power through a cracked clay pot. Because when people see a cracked pot that's still standing, still serving, still singing, still loving, they know it's not the pot that's holding itself together. They know there's someone on the inside providing the strength. So what do we do? Well, there's 3 things, y'all. Stop hiding the cracks. We have bought into the lie that we must curate our lives for public consumption. We hide our struggles in a desperate attempt to look qualified. Authenticity is not oversharing. It is simply refusing to pretend. Your testimony is not, "I was broken and now I'm perfect." Your testimony is, "I was broken and I am still broken in places, but I am held together by Christ." All right. Number 2, Surrender the jar. You are, I'm going to say it like this. You are trying to hold the pieces together with tape and glue and your own willpower. You are exhausting yourself. Your job is not to hold the jar together. Your job is to carry the treasure. Surrender the jar to the potter. God says, this is your vessel. You know, these cracks are yours. This struggle is yours. I can't manage it. I yield it to you. Now use it for your glory. Now, number 3, let the light shine out. Your purpose is not on the other side of your struggle. You know, your purpose is right here, right now, in the midst of it. That person who needs hope needs to see how you find hope in the valley. That person who feels alone needs to see how you lean on Christ in your isolation. Your struggle is not your stopping point. It is your story. It is your sermon. You are not called in spite of your brokenness. You are called precisely because of it. For it is in our breaking that we truly understand the power of being remade. It is in our weakness that his strength is made perfect. So do not let your struggle convince you that your purpose is canceled. All right? Your purpose is being authenticated. You know, the world doesn't need more perfect looking people. I'm gonna be honest with you, because personally for me, y'all, I am not perfect at all whatsoever. All right. The world needs hope, and hope is most visible in the dark. It is most powerful when it shines through the cracks. You are a jar of clay. You will get chipped. You will get cracked. You may feel like you're coming apart, but remember what's inside. All right. The treasure, the power, the Christ. You are hard pressed, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, struck down, but not destroyed. Why? Because the same spirit that raised Christ from the dead is living in you. And the spirit is more than enough for your struggle and for your calling. So now go and let your brokenness be a lighthouse for other ship lost in the same storm. All right? Hope this helps y'all. Peace.